Welcome to Filibustering Fans. And this is our Wonderland. On this podcast, we usually discuss sports, but today we will focus on the most engaging and interesting political sport, debate. Here we break down, play by play, the most recent City Council debate. On the field with me today, we have Nix It Up, Nix, our analyst. Ready to break down the policy, plays like a seasoned offensive coordinator. Then we have our strategist, Say Less, here to tell us who's giving for the long game and who's running a quick slant. And finally, we have Frankly, our voter advocate, the true voice of the fans. But let's dig into the rabbit hole. On the 15th of October, Campus Academy students hosted the City Council debate, and we went through a lot. To break down candidate responses and questions, we have Nix It Up. Nix?
Thank you, Alice. Overall, Seat 2 was insightful into the collaboration skills of each candidate. For the most part, if a candidate had an idea, others would build off it, except one candidate, Bradley Whipple, who suggested cutting Parks and Rec and had a rather aggressive tone and wording.
Cutting the Parks and Recreation Department.
Yes, I felt like we just witnessed a game-changing play.
Say less, Nix. This tone of voice and aggression really seemed to hurt the perception of Whipple. For the most part, his messaging was clear and concise, but this seemed to shift the way people saw this candidate. Honestly, this is a 10-yard penalty coming his way.
Frankly, while Whipple was confident and had opinions that came out of left field, Moran had the most clear message, most personable and concise. He also wants to advocate for all ages and walks of life. His answers vary.
But what do you all think about seats 4 and 6?
Boring. I wish I could say more, but unlike Jim Francis,
Thank you,
Promote
Councilman
fear.
Francis. We all
I can just say less. Actually, nothing.
Frankly, with more candidates for Seat 2, it allowed for more answers and personality to show through, casting a shadow over Seat 4 and 6, making them anticlimactic, especially since most of Seat 2 was focused and driven by Moran and Whipple's statements. Other candidates seemed to fade into the background with those two competitors.
Yeah. Passing the ball to Salis and Frankly, we talked about confidence, tone, and body language. But now I'm really curious to know what you think about the interaction between the different candidates.
Are we talking about that fist bump between Moran and Lee?
Oh man, that was epic. That's how you show teamwork. Let's run that moment back.
Does Alice just use sports metaphors? I guess so.
Okay, so it's coming. Pay attention. Close. So close. And that's it. Yes.
Say less. Look, that moment wasn't just cool. It showed mutual respect. And honestly, that kind of connection between candidates, that's leadership too.
I totally agree. Alright, team. At this point, the big question is, who is ready to step onto the field as captain? Who convinced you the most as the leader of this hometown team?
If we're talking about prep and poise, I have to say Moran, because he didn't dodge questions, he layered answers, and it felt like he's really been studying the city's playbook.
Yeah, he wasn't the flashiest, but he was solid. He was consistent like a veteran QB managing the game.
Say less. He stayed calm under pressure. When they threw curveball questions at him about public safety, well, he didn't flinch. That's what you want from a leader, someone who doesn't panic when the clock's winding down.
Well, frankly, I have to say that it's really hard to say who could be the best leader. But the empathy was for sure something that stood out. Moran talked about inclusivity, not just the quote-unquote status quo, but how policies would affect real people. That shows emotional intelligence, which matters just as much as policy.
Honestly, say less. That fist bump moment might go viral. It showed unity in a space that can get tense. But Whipple might have lost points with that aggressive tone in the Parks and Rec comment. He didn't feel in tune with the community priorities. Say less.
Yeah, the forum made it clear. People want collaboration. Voters care about real plans. Moran probably gained points by just staying calm and connected.
And this forum, it was definitely not just about the candidates. It was about the community and how engaged they were. Frankly, that's how democracy works. Students hosting the debate is the perfect demonstration. Forums like this help citizens decide who's really ready to lead.
Couldn't have said it better. It's not just a forum, it's a game changer for the whole city. I think we've gone deep enough for today down the rabbit hole. So, time to head back to the surface. And huge thanks to all of you. Thank you for being here. And thank you also for bringing your A game. I've honestly learned a lot from this conversation. And thank you for tuning on into Filibustering Fans, where politics meets play-by-play. And until next time, keep your minds sharp and your ballots ready. Good night from Wonderland.
Yeah!
Tone and what? And what?
Fist bump me, Alice.
On.
On the you have the flash.
Oh, okay. You.
All right, team. At this point,
Did you cut it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
okay.